Hi YouTube. Pray everyone is well. My name's Empress Light, and today I'd like to talk about this full moon that we have in Scorpio as a follow-up from the reading that I did yesterday. And I'd like to talk about how this full moon is connected to the Venus Pentagram. Now, I bought a book. I'll show you the book. Venus Pentagram by Tashi Powers, an evolutionary astrologer. Now, guys, I'm not an astrologer, and I don't profess to be an astrologer. However, I read energy. I work with celestial beings, and I've been guided to talk about this transit that's taken place in regards to the Scorpio full moon and this Venus pentagram. Now, guys, I'm not going to go into depths about the pentagram itself, and I'll do a video at a later date about that. But what I will do is give you a brief synopsis so that you can get an idea of what it is that I'm talking about. So, Venus does a transit, and the transit, the cycle, the completion of the cycle that she does creates a pentagram. That's the pentagram there, a five-pointed star. Okay, and each of those points are called a Venus point, and they will. Each of those points will hit a specific space or a specific house and a specific sign in your natal chart. Now, bear with me 1 second. I actually don't, I've literally just started researching this, so I don't totally understand it. However, the 13 mothers have asked me to do a brief video on it in regards to what's taking place right now. So, the full moon that we just had in Scorpio was 27 degrees of Scorpio. Okay. Now, the Venus has two, what would you call it, archetypes. She has an archetype of being the evening star and the morning star. Now, as I said, I'm not going to go into all of it. I'll do that on another video. But in 2018, Venus was an evening star, and she was ascending into the underworld. And what takes place is that she goes through 7 gates, and the 7 gates are supposed to represent the 7 chakras. So in 2018, Venus began her ascent as a evening star. And the first gate, which is you're ascending, so you're going down. So the first gate is the crown, which was on the 16th of the 3rd, 2018, and that took place 14 degrees Aries. The second gate took place on the 17th of the 4th, 2018, at 21 degrees Taurus. The third gate took place on the 17th of the 5th, 2018, 27 degrees Gemini. The fourth gate took place on the 16th of the 6th, 2018 at 0 degrees Leo. The fifth gate took place on the 15th of the 7th, 2018 at 6 degrees Virgo. Now the sixth gate, which is the gate that we're going to be talking about, and the seventh gate. The sixth gate took place on the 14th of the 8th at 7 degrees Libra. Now, before this Scorpio moon, I think we had a Taurus new moon, and before that we had 2 moons in Libra. We had a new moon, and please tell me if I'm incorrect, but I think we had a new moon in the beginning of Libra and a full moon at the end of Libra. Please let me know if I'm incorrect, but I know we had 2 moons. Now, the first moon that we had in Libra would have activated this Venus point, the 6th gate, which took place on the 14th of the 8th at 7 degrees of Libra. And what Tasha Powell has written here for that point is the road back allows new patterns to guide the self to its place in a larger social context or universal order. Now for me, that gate represented Mahat. It represented balance. The balance of our relationships, as in giving, receiving, myself and the other. So if we were in a relationship that discounted us and acknowledged our partner more, we would have felt some form of shift in this gate, especially with the 2 moon cycles in that Libran sign. But even more important, the 7th gate, the 7th gate, which took place on the 12th of the 9th, which was at 2 degrees Scorpio. Now, Tasha's called this the master of 2 worlds, evolutionary completion. Now, after this gate, there is another gate, but it's not so much a gate, it's actually a completion of the pentagram. And that took place 29 degrees Scorpio on the 1st of the 11th. And Tasha's called this the new cycle morning star. Now guys, this full moon that we've just had in Scorpio was 27 degrees of Scorpio. Scorpio is ruled by Pluto. Pluto is currently in Capricorn, retrograde, with Saturn and the South Node. Venus is currently in Taurus, conjunct Uranus. Now, as I said, guys, I'm not an astrologer, but I'm looking at this and I'm feeling these energies. And I can only tell you what I have experienced in this node, in this Venus pentagram becoming, moving from an evening star to a morning star. And I also have Chiron in Aries in the 8th house at 3 degrees. So this whole shift for me has also impacted my Chiron. I also have Venus in Capricorn at 23 degrees. So this Pluto transit Capricorn South Node is also impacting me and impacting my self-worth, impacting how I view relationships. But this full moon has literally allowed me to feel into and I'm not sure if it's a square that's taking place between the full moon that's just taken place in Scorpio and Pluto, Saturn, South Node, retrograde, even though the South Node isn't going backwards, it's going in the direction it usually goes into. But it feels as if, sorry that I'm jumping all over the place, guys, but I'm going through the process as I'm talking to you. Firstly, Tasha calls this completion of an evening star into a morning star. She talks about this being a metamorphosis of self-empowerment. And as I said, the master of the two worlds completion. But this feels very much to me as if there are cycles within cycles. Because this full moon, if you have not already completed the healing, the metamorphosis that took place on the 1st of the 11th, 2018, then you will be experiencing it now, because this full moon is going to trigger that new cycle of the morning star. As we are ascending back through the gates. So we're retrieving through every gate that you go through, every gate that Venus goes through as she enters into the underworld. She's relinquishing her connection, attachments to the earthly realm. So for each gate, she will release something. So for example, on the first gate, she releases her crown. On the second gate, I think she releases a lapis necklace from around her neck. So she's actually letting go of the attributes of earth, the attachments that she's connected to her earthly experience. As she ascends back through those gates, when she's completed what takes place in the underworld. And what takes place, guys, is that she dies. When she gets to the underworld, she meets her sister, and the sister basically puts her to death. But for me, the sister is actually the shadow aspect of ourselves. The shadow aspects of ourselves. So in essence, she dies. Venus dies, and then she's reborn, and she ascends back through the gates, and every time she goes through a gate, she retrieves the item that she's given away. But as she retrieves this item, she retrieves it with a sense of renewal. she's not retrieving it from the aspect of a physical comprehension. It's more to do with the wisdom that she has now understood, now that she has descended and is now ascending. But guys, I really wanted to talk about, or get over to whoever's listening, the importance of this transit, the importance of this full moon in this degree of Scorpio, where the Venus point was activated on the 1st of the 11th, 2018. Very much connected to the transits that are taking place in Capricorn at the moment in regards to Pluto, the South Node, Saturn, bearing in mind that Pluto is Scorpio. So we are standing in front of the emotional residue of our experiences. The South Node is the South Node of the moon. We're talking about the moon being full in Scorpio. The belly is full. The womb is full. There's nothing else that can be held within this space. It is full, and it is now stagnant. And the mothers talk about, in order for us to create anew, in order for us to create a new universe, the womb has to be cleansed. Because the birthing of a universe, the birthing of anything new, starts within the womb. The mothers also say, what you give is what you receive. Taurus, Scorpio. Taurus, Scorpio. And that's what we're working with right now, guys. What do you want to manifest, Taurus? Are you aware? Are we aware of the emotions that we are holding within our womb that is of the old, that is outdated? The mothers actually want to talk about the fact that everyone's talking about the shifting of patriarchal energy on the earth, but it's as if we've forgotten within this time, or that time of the patriarchal energy being in power, the divine feminine had no voice. She's had no voice. She's been suppressed. And that suppression has also made the way in which we have done things as women be quite dysfunctional, manipulative. Because that's how we had to function in a world that did not acknowledge our voice. So it's not just the divine feminine, divine masculine that is moving through a healing. It's also the mothers say, the mothers, because we also birthed the experience that we're having, ladies, queens. We birthed these experiences through our disconnection to ourselves. I'm going to draw one card. I'm going to draw one card from the Ascended Masters. What is the question that I'm asking? What's the question that I'm asking? If anyone is having a problem in releasing these energies, what do you suggest they need? Let's have a look. Find your blessing in your current situation. Krishna. This feels like it's talking about forgiveness. Whatever it is that you're going through, whatever pain that you're feeling, whatever it is that you don't understand at this time, be thankful for it. If things are falling apart, falling away, be thankful for it, because there is something greater coming that you could never even comprehend. Could be so. All is a blessing. One more. Spiritual law of attraction. That's what I was saying, guys. That's what I was saying. Whatever situations that you have going on in your life right now, you have been the creator of. Whether it be good, bad or indifferent, there are lessons for you to learn in this situation right now. And the greatest one that you can learn is that somewhere in your psyche, you called this situation to you. Be in gratitude of the person that has been the messenger, even if it feels painful. Be in gratitude for that person. Be in gratitude for the situation, because it's showing you the power of your mind. It's showing you your own self-worth. It's showing you your own value, how you valued yourself, and how that value has created a reality for you to see. Whether this is a true reflection or not, is this really how you feel about yourself? And is this feeling conducive to the reality that you're trying to create for yourself? Okay, I'm going to draw a card from the Dark Mirror Tarot in regards to, is there anything else that we need to release whilst we have this full moon activation in Scorpio? Fragmentation. Number 27. This is interesting because I feel like it goes with this card, as in law of attraction. I think that sometimes, most of the time to be fair, the majority of society are creating unconsciously. Unconsciously have no idea what they're trying to manifest and have no idea of the level of fear that they place into their manifestations. With that being said, I think that a lot of what we are experiencing on the earth at the moment is people creating, manifesting through a place of fear. Fear. From the shadow aspects. And what this card is suggesting and saying is that we are fragmented. Our shadow aspects are not in union with who we say that we are. There are aspects of ourselves that we are unaware of. And this full moon in Scorpio is actually going to bring us into some form of awareness of who these parts of us are. Who are we? Who are we when we go into the underworld? What do we see? When we go into our own caves, what do we see? What do we feel? What do we hear? When we go into our darkness, what's there? Who's there? These are all fragmented aspects of ourselves that we have detached to. We've got 2 and 7. The moon and Neptune. Illusions. Illusions of separation. And that makes sense right now. As in a full moon in Scorpio, Neptune being in Pisces. Which part of you do you need to reconnect to? And the first thought that comes to my mind is the mother. Mother Earth. 27. 2 and 7 are both feminine energies. Number 9, completion. I feel like we're being asked to connect to Mother Earth. I'm being reminded, the mothers are talking about the story of, is it Asorunaset? When his genitals got thrown to the 4 corners of the earth. And she tried to bring him back together, fragmented. I feel as if that's what they're trying to say to me. As if, wow, I feel like they're saying quite a bit. They're also talking about that our sexual energies being all over the place. All over the place. They're talking about calling back your power. This is talking about a specific set, specific people who have dishonored their sexual energy and have just been sleeping. And don't get me wrong, I'm not in any judgment. This is what I'm hearing. Dishonored their sexual energy and has been sleeping with a number of different people. And what has actually happened is that your energy has become fragmented. You have left parts of yourself with individuals through intimacy. And the mothers are asking that you sit for a moment and just call your power back. Call these aspects of yourself back. Let's sit for 1 minute and just call 3 times. Aspects of myself, I call you back from the north. Aspects of myself, I call you back from the east. Aspects of myself, I call you back from the south. Aspects of myself, I call you back from the west. Call your power back and feel as your fragmented self comes into alignment. I'm going to draw one more card as the guidance in regards to what we need to do to integrate these fragmented aspects of ourselves. What do we need to do? You are seeing the situation accurately. Ashe, ashe, ashe. See the situation accurately. Don't delude yourself. Don't see it from a place of separation. See this whole process as being accurate, as being for your highest good, for the highest good of all. Accept it. Embrace it. Embrace the fragmented aspects of yourself. Be aware that you are the creator of your reality. See accurately from your truth. You are the creator. Be honest with yourself. Find a blessing in the situation. The blessing is that you are the most powerfulest thing in this universe. Because you have choice. You have awareness. You have the ability to heal not just yourself, the earth, the planets, the man standing to your right, the man standing to your left. All is a blessing. Be in gratitude, guys. Be in gratitude and be in joy. This will heighten your vibration. With that, I'm going to love you guys. I will be back to talk some more about this. I think it's very important. Very, very important. If you can get this book on eBay, it cost me £15. Tisha Powell's You're Bloody Brilliant, and whoever else that created or tapped into this energy and put it into some form of concepts that we could understand. And I've still not understood it yet, guys, but I'm making it part of my journey. Definitely. So I will be doing a video on this very soon. Until then, I send you all peace, truth and light and love.